Hi there, and welcome to the David Wilson Out and About YouTube channel. This is just a short video where I'll be demonstrating how to do a simple battery level check on my E-Fin battery. The reason I'm doing this, tomorrow I'm going out to do a quite an extensive range test on the battery, but I've had several questions, mainly through private mails, on how to check out the battery level, because this battery does not have a dedicated battery level indicator, so you can't sort of see what level of 50%, 70%, 90%. You can't see the level as you're going along. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you a simple way of checking out the battery and just have demonstrate how to do it, and how to also check the charger from the wall to make sure it's actually putting the correct charge into the battery. Right, first off, this is the battery charging point, and it's got a waterproof cap, so obviously when you're out on the water, that you should do this up as tight as you possibly can, or at least hand tight, to stop any water getting into the connectors. If I open that up, I'll bring you in on this. There's actually it's just a 2-pin charging point. So what I'll be using to test this is a piece of kit I already had in my tool case, because I'm an ex-engineer, and it's just a simple pen. It's an intelligent pen multimeter, quite easy to use. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to switch this on and just go through how to check the battery level, and I'm going to put a little chart on the screen to show you the different volts to the level of charge. Now, as I said, this is an intelligent pen multimeter. By intelligent, what it means is basically it's plug and play. If you switch it on and you stick it in, so I'll be actually testing for DC, it'll automatically recognize what I'm testing and it will switch to that. And it also has audio. Now, the reason I went for the audio version, there's the another version, a lesser priced version, and this one, the Pro. This one has audio. Where the audio will come in particularly handy is when you're out and about. If you're literally got the battery on the floor and you're kneeling down and trying to put this into the pins and trying to stare at the screen, it can become quite awkward, whereas this will actually give you an audio readout. Right, so I'm going to turn the battery to face me. Okay, I'm going to power on the multimeter. So it was already on. It's in auto mode. If you just leave it laying down, it goes into standby, and after 2 minutes anyway. It's although it's audio, it does seem to have a funny language. It calls it standby mode or something like that. Obviously it means standby mode, but then I don't speak perfect English anyway. Okay, so I've undone the connector. So all you simply got to do, if I do it this way round, stick one pin in the left one pin in the right one. So I don't know if you could hear that. It's a DC 26.70 volts, which if I refer to my chart, 26.7, so it's around about 99%, maybe 98% charge. And I said I'll put this up on the screen. So that is basically it. Now, obviously, I'll say obviously, in my kayaks, this is always behind me. So this is not exactly practical. You can't be going along and literally lifting it up and doing this. This is something that if you've done, when I'm doing my tests, you'll probably see that I'll do X amount of circuits, stop, recheck it, put it back in. So it's not absolutely perfect. But then again, if you fitted an indicator on here, battery level indicator, which I will be doing in the future, you wouldn't necessarily be able to see it anyway, because it'd be behind you in the back. There is a workaround around that, which I'll speak about in a moment, but I'm not going to do that until this is out of warranty. Okay, so I'm going to do this test one more time just to show you. Left pin, right pin.
DC 26.68 volt.
There you go, DC 26.68 volts. Obviously I have got it up there on the display, but I could hear it as well. I mean, it's not that audible, but it's enough just to sort of, if you're leaning down and you stick it in, hopefully you can hear it and you get an idea. I always carry a chart in the top, which I printed off, and as I said, I'll put it up on the screen for you. So that basically is how to test that as you're going along. Now, the chart that's on the screen now will show you all the figures from 29.2 volts, 100% charge, the resting charge 27.2, and all the way down to the red zone, which is 9% of 24.0 volts. So, you know, you're welcome to screenshot that and use that. I will also put the link to, I've had this for quite a few years in all fairness, but I have found it on eBay, so I will be putting the link. But please remember, this is the Pro version if you want the audio. The other one, there's a drop down menu. The other one's cheaper, but you're not going to get the audio. If you press the red button,
it's about to enter
see,
standby state.
Stimby state. I think that means standby state, but you know, it's good enough. I understand what it's saying. Right, okay, so that's the battery out of the way. So obviously you know how to do the levels. Let's do that plug up. Now, what I'm going to do very briefly, and you have to be careful when you do this, if you want to test whether the charger is actually delivering the correct volts, then you have to have it plugged in and obviously turned on, and then you've got the 2 pins. The only thing you've got to be careful here is you don't want to start crossing these when you're sticking them in there. So you've just got to very gingerly, very carefully place them in. So I'm going to do that.
Already on auto mode.
She's telling me off, already on. Of course she was in standby mode. So if I stick this in there now, let's do it the right way around. Obviously you get a minus reading. Left pin, right pin, and I've got 29.47. So obviously it's coming in at the 230, 240 volts. It's stepping down to 24 volts. It's delivering 29 of that pin, of those pins. You've got 29.47, so you know when you plug it in there, it will be charging at the correct rate. It means the charger's working correctly. There has been a couple of instances, I believe, where people have had issues with this, with the E-Fin motor not running, which has not even been to do with the battery. It has been to do with the charger. I've just shown you how to test the charger. Now, you may already know how to do this. I'm not trying to teach people how to suck eggs. This is quite easy to do. You're not going to really hurt yourself doing this. But I did get a lot of questions where people were asking me, you know, how the hell do you know what battery level you are at? As I said, obviously, if you're in the middle of a lake somewhere and you're going along, you're not going to be able to stop, reach around to the back, literally disconnect everything, lift that to the front. It will have to be done when you've stopped. So if you find a halfway point, you get out of the water. There's no reason why you can't leave the battery in the kayak. Just undo the connector. So you won't even have to do that. The connector will be there to the fin. Just undo it, put it in. Especially if you've got audio, you may be leaning down towards the water side, and then you can hear that you're at 40, 50%. So it is useful, but it's not absolutely ideal. But at least that's one way of doing it. Now, as I said, I'm not doing any modifications to this until it's out of warranty, and at the moment I've had it for 5 months. When the warranty is up, I was actually thinking about then breaking the seal of the case. I already have a battery level indicator that I purchased, and I was thinking of either setting it into this housing here so it's still waterproof and putting it in there, or having that with a cable coming out there. But like I said, even if it's in the box, in all of my kayaks, this battery is behind me and I literally cannot access it. So it sort of defeats the objects of having it in there, other than when you're at home and you go, oh, I'm at 50%. So what I'm actually thinking of doing is buying another one of these waterproof connectors, another cable, and actually having it on literally a length of cable so that I can then extend from the battery box with waterproof cable to the front, and I can have the level indicator in my lap or just down the side, sort of tucked away. So that's probably the best option. And it also means I don't have to break the seal of the box. I can literally connect directly to there all the time I'm out on the paddle and get a reading of where the battery's at. I still have to refer to the chart. No, I won't have to refer to the chart because it will have it on the indicator itself. So yeah, that'll be my workaround for the future. Now, as I just said, I'm about to do a range test either tomorrow or Friday. I'm going to get it out on the River Medway. I'm doing a range test in drive only, which is the first speed, to get a really reasonable idea of how long this will run, down to possibly 20% or 9% because I wouldn't want to really run it any lower than that. I've just come off a 12-hour shift, so I'm absolutely shattered at the moment. So yeah, it'll either be tomorrow or Friday, so that's a future video. Well, I've just got the battery charger connected, so I'm bringing it up from the, what was it, 90% or something like that. I'm bringing it up to 100%, probably only take half hour. Now it's already got to 100%, light's gone green, and I will be testing it before I go out just to make sure I'm at 100% as I start off on the journey. Right, well, this is just a short video just to show you that. As I say, I'm sure a load of you have found this video complete nonsense because you already know how to do that, but not everybody does. Not everybody likes to touch any form of electrics, and that's a nice simple way of doing it. So if you have found this video useful or informative, please give it a thumbs up, and if you've got any comments, please put them below. If you are new to the channel, thank you for visiting and watching. Remember, there will be another video coming out using this battery and the E-Fin, probably within the next 4 days. If you're a regular subscriber, thanks for your loyalty and sticking with me.
It's about to enter steady state.
It's entering stimby state again. Anyway, that's it for now. See you on the next video. Bye.